Hi, COVID.
Hello.
Will you tell us about your head-to-toe look?
When I was designing, I just wanted to play around with pattern and kind of break down the monotony of what otherwise plaid could do. So I just started cutting it up. I wanted to create shapes. I wanted to create volume.
What I loved here is the boldness of that print.
As soon as she walked out, I thought, oh, she's sick. But like sick in a good way. It's sick. The outfit is sick.
We all loved COVID's look.
Loved.
Do you mind putting your mask back on? Do you mind putting your mask back on? Thank you. Do you mind putting your mask back on?
Just wear the mask.
Not notice COVID's detail, this 3D applique.
I mean, it just gets better.
What do you...
What do you guys think of this mask?
It's sick.
Obsessed.
It's sick.
Obsessed.
Brandon said it, but you must be hot. You should probably take the mask off.
Yeah.
Can you breathe in there?
A little bit. A little better like
It's a
this.
good look, but we want to keep you alive. It's a good look, but we want to keep you alive. It's a good look, but we want to keep you alive.
Shalom Yasharala, peace Israel. Call Halayim La, Alahayanawa, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. All praises to our power, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. Double honor to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to the hopeful elect of Israel. Shalom. This was all set up. Okay? This was all set up. The Crown Royal virus and Maxxine. Same plan, same agenda. That was well thought out. Okay? Well thought out beforehand. The elite are just pressing play on it. Okay, now I just showed a vid in the beginning, which it was some edited clips added into the main video. But it's from the show. The main part was from the show Project Runway. And they had a model on there whose name is COVID with a K. And basically, you know, you see how the model was dressed. You know, with the face mask. You know, but just a simple fact that this model has the mask on and has that name. You know, what is this all about? Showing you it's a plandemic. It's all set up. It's all staged. The world is a stage. Okay? That's all it is. It's a theater. This is set up. That's why people call it a plandemic. It was planned. A planned pandemic. Okay? To bring about what? The NWO. The end game for Esau. Having everyone chipped. That's the end game. Now I have an article here on nymag.com, which I believe the mag stands for magazine. So New York Magazine.com. Intelligencer. Now it says this is put up at 8 a.m. All right, says that next to tomorrow. The article is entitled, "We had the Maxxine the whole time." We had the Maxxine the whole time. And I'm saying Maxxine because Edom is very picky when it comes to our words on YouTube. Okay? But the mandatory V. That's what Maxxine is. The mandatory V. You can see the word on the screen. All right. We had the Maxxine the whole time. This was put up by David Wallace Wells. And you got to be an idiot, a complete fool to fall for this stuff, man. You know, you take Maxxine if you want to. That's on you. You may be surprised to learn that of the trio of long-awaited Crown Royal Maxxines, the most promising Moderna's mRNA 1273, which reported a 94.5% efficiency rate on November 16th, had been designed by January 13th. This was just 2 days after the genetic sequence had been made public in an act of scientific and humanitarian generosity that resulted in China's Yongzhen Zhang's being temporarily forced out of his lab. In Massachusetts, the Moderna, and Lord will they don't get me for saying that word, the Moderna vaccine design took all of 1 weekend. It was completed before China had acknowledged that the disease could be transmitted from human to human, more than a week before the first confirmed Crown Royal case in the United States. By the time the first American death was announced a month later, the vaccine had already been manufactured and shipped to the National Institutes of Health for the beginning of its phase 1 clinical trial. This is, as the country and the world are rightly celebrating, the fastest timeline of development in the history of vaccines. It also means that for the entire span of the pandemic in this country, which has already killed more than 250,000 Americans, I personally don't believe that myself. It says we had the tools we needed to prevent it. They're saying they had Maxxine already lock, stock, and barrel. It was ready to go. And that's how E works. He does things beforehand. Okay? I'll read a little bit more. To be clear, I don't want to suggest that Moderna should have followed or should have allowed to roll out its vaccine in February or even in May, when interim results from its phase 1 trial demonstrated its basic safety. That would be like saying we put a man on the moon and then asking the very same day, what about going to Mars? Says Nicholas Christakis, who directs Yale's Human Nature Lab and whose new book, Apollo's Arrow, sketches the way for Crown Royal 19 may shape our near-term future. Moderna's speed was astonishing. Christakis, if I'm saying the name right, says though the design of other vaccines was nearly as fast, BioNTech with Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson, AstraZeneca, what they're saying, pretty much they're all in cahoots, man. They all take certain ideas from each other. But he was saying how, Moderna's was fast, but the other vaccines from these other companies were just about as fast, okay? But the point is, E is at work. He's been at work. He's been in the lab. He's been testing things out. And ultimately, he wants to test this out on you, on the American people, on the sheeple, okay? And he's already began, man. And there's vids surfacing out there stating that if you got the Crown Royal test, where they shoved that Q-tip basically up your nose and twisted it, that was a form of vaccine, of you being vaccinated. Certain info saying that the Q-tips had nanoparticles on them. I'm not sure how true that is, but with E, everything is possible. The possibilities are endless with his wickedness, man. So who knows? But ultimately, the end game is you getting vaccine, which is gonna prepare you for getting that mark, okay? Which is the chip. No way around it, man. But I just found this interesting because Big Bro, I'm one good bar from the main camp. He had mentioned how they already had Maxxine ready. So when I saw this article, I was like, well, they just confirmed, you know, what the brother had said. You know what I'm saying? We're here, bro. We're here. You know what I'm saying? But so much info out there saying how it manipulates your genetic code, you know, your DNA, taking out a piece of your DNA and inserting, you know, a synthetic thread, basically adding it to your DNA, and you don't know what they're adding to it. But, you know, it is what it is, man, for you people that take Maxxine. But he is at work and he's doing things beforehand. He has so much stuff ready behind closed doors. We see it finally getting rolled out, but they've been had this thing, man. And they probably had it way before this article stated, you know, and I'm gonna get a scripture on that, because you think about Maxxine and you think about ultimately the end game, which is the mark of the beast. They already got these chips ready. You know, they already got the chipping stations ready. They already got, you know, certain booths and kiosks and you know, just different infrastructure they need, you know, for this system. All right. Now they may not have it all yet, but they're very close. You better believe we're in the end now. So you know that they got it, man. You know that they have it. Okay, now I'm gonna read this. And the time is speeding up too, so remember that. Psalms chapter 64 and verse 6, beginning at verse 5. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. Right, all those speeches they talk about the NWO, you know. Many speeches they talk about that. And it's not a conspiracy theory, it's a fact. So they're encouraging themselves. They're talking about when they are successful, and they will be. You know, you had George Bush Sr. make that speech. The commune of laying snares privily, like this Crown Royal shot. You know? the jab. That jab, man. You know, like the, you know, up and coming elder brother Karatazar from Vegas has said, that jab. All right? That Crown Royal shot. They commune or communicate of laying snares or traps privily, secretly, because people didn't know about this going back to last year. But see, he knew, you know, they had those secret meetings speaking about the inner workings of this evil, and now they released it. They say, who shall see them? But see, the angels, the holy angels, they're watching y'all in those meetings, man. They search out iniquities. They search out iniquities. So there's also information that have surfaced talking about the side effects of the Crown Royal shot. What it's going to do to you. You know, the brother Karatazar from Vegas, he went in on that. You know, I was watching it earlier. You know, and that's straight up iniquity, man. Because they want to depopulate the planet. They accomplish a diligent search. Right. That's all they do. To plot more wickedness. Both the inward thought of every one of them. Think about all them E's, you know. And for those you don't know, all those Edomites up in those secret meetings. The inward thought of every one of them, and the heart, the mind is deep, which is why they pre-plan everything. You know, and you have something that's called predictive programming. They'll show you their agenda in a certain TV show, in a certain movie, in a newspaper, okay, in certain advertisements, just in different things, different commercials, okay, you name it, man. They'll put it out there. That way, subconsciously, you'll know what's coming without knowing what's coming. Directly. They show you indirectly. And you know, at this point, they really just put it in your face. A lot of this stuff they call predictive programming, really they're just putting it right in your face. It's not even covertly anymore. You know, it's just straight up in your face. You know, which that's the highest form of witchcraft, to put something right in your face and you still don't see it. You know, to put it directly in front of you and you still don't see it, man. That's how they work. You know, they'll show you their agenda, But you got to be wise. You got to catch it. And see, our hope is that we don't get caught up in all this madness out here, man, because E's about to go berserk, all right? He want that NWO. 2 Corinthians 2:11. Let Satan, which is E, Edom, lest Satan, the adversary, should get an advantage of us. He gets an advantage over you if you're ignorant to his... Hey, well, let me read it. For we are not ignorant of his devices. Let me read it again. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. If you're ignorant of what he has going on, if you're ignorant of his plan, of his plot, you're going to fall for it because you don't know about it. Okay? Scriptures say, how are the things that Esau searched out? You know, you got to look it up. And at this point, the information is right there presented directly in front of you, man. You know, you can't be oblivious now unless the Lord just wants you to be blind. All right. But with that, I just found this article very interesting. It stuck out to me. Okay. They've been had Maxxine. And we ain't seen nothing yet. Lord willing, this is edifying. Call halayim la, alahayenawa, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Rakakwadash. Double honor to our apostles and elders, great millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.